and skilled. You know, you probably have a heart surgeon over there who's in a band at the Milk Boy. That's how, you know, perfect everyone is in Philadelphia sometimes. You mean you're a heart surgeon and you play in a band on the side? When, do tell, when do you have the time? When did you learn to play? Up here, Benson Boone has permanently had an ad on the corner here until his concert is over, I guess. I like the way you, I like the way you touch me. Thank you. I was trying to think, I haven't heard his music in a while. He was messed up a little bit by the Palisades fire. I think he might have lived somewhat in the vicinity and had to do an evacuation, but I saw a video. Let's see. I like the way, and there's another, like, you know, there's several songs that are popular, and then they wind up on shorts and everything, but I'll have to check in with him. Benson Boone, American Heart Tour, September 3rd. Tickets are on sale this month from 10 a.m. through 5/8. So you know, we're long past that now. So I'm wondering if unless, you know, if they don't sell out, then maybe they keep the signage up. I like the way, or while supplies last. Terms apply. They have available for American Express card members. Oh, pre-sale. This is a pre-sale. That makes sense because September is like a ways off. It's like, that's interesting. We've got a special situation going on here with Benson Boone. I guess they have to say in case they sold out, they would have. So if you have American Express, you could have gotten in on the pre-sale. The way up. I like the way up. To the back. Right. So you don't get attached. That is so, you know, ladies, you know, high school, college. I forget what he says, you know, something in the back, like tongue. I picture a tongue, but have you in the back so you don't get attached. That is ladies, girlfriend. Let me talk here. So everybody talks about these folks who do things so they don't get attached during high school and college years and maybe into their 20s. It's hard to not get attached to these people. Some people, you know, we'll just go with male, female. You know, I wound up in the neighborhood and I wound up experiencing something so bad that these days I don't really identify as anything but please help me, you know. I just want to have a little home and a cat and a dog, that's it. But during my high school, really my college years, you know, I believe that some people are marked with prey stickers all over themselves. A lot of women, don't worry, women are naturally prey to predatorial mindsets, and in nature, men with their testosterone running wild, men are generally predatorial in nature. Like, that would be the very low base situation. And I'm sure that song was used many a time at the bars and so forth and so on, and men love to do that. Oh, yes. You know, I will tell, here's the loophole, I will tell her I'm not going to be attached. I don't want you to get attached to me. Like, in a way, it's a form of self-hate for the men. Someone came up with this. It's like men, they either love to feel badass, right, at a certain age, or they hate themselves so much that they will tell the woman in advance, don't get attached, I'm a snake. They're like proud to be a snake, but it's really a form of self-hate. Isn't that interesting? they preempt, or they make sure they're the ones who reject before anyone rejects them, and still that is a form of self-hate. You know what I mean, ladies? It's hard not to be, you know, especially at certain ages when people's brains are in a certain place. You know, you're at college, you know, people are partying while trying to study, you know, it depends on the school you go to. It's hard not to be, you know, even the most studious of people wish they could, you know, have someone be attracted to them who's technically predatorial in nature. It's written in all the romance books, take me now, take me, with a voluptuous woman with, you know, the ball gown dress or whatever it is, you know, pictured with a guy. She's collapsed in his arms next to a horse, you know. Do people still read those? Because we live in an era when bookstores have downsized. People read things, you know, online, or they're just so used to online stuff that I've wondered, you know, gone are the days when women trifled themselves over romance novels, you know, or ran to the bookstore, or they're hooked on certain authors. My mom loved to read J.D. Robb. J.D. Robb goes by 2 names, and it got a little weird because the book titles started to resemble my mom, like Even Death, Golden in Death. And I think one of her books came out during the pandemic, either Golden in Death or another one, and it's like, ugh. I was going to volunteer as a yoga instructor at the VA hospital in Florida, or volunteer hoping to turn it into a paid position, like one way or any type of job. Can you believe the pandemic came in and rolled that out right quick? They couldn't do it. While I was waiting to talk to someone at the VA hospital, like sort of like a interview orientation, if you will, they sat me in this back room. You know how government buildings will never change, okay? Even the VA hospital is crappy. And they sat me down in this back room, and they had a whole bunch of books on this book trolley, like one of those dollies that you see in old libraries. And they're like, help yourself while you're waiting, you know, if you want to, you can even take one of these books, you can take one home, bring it back, or whatever. They didn't even care. They were doing some cleaning up anyway. Can you believe there was a J.D. Robb book on the trolley? I was like, oh my gosh, my mom loves J.D. Robb, and she's looking for one of the books that, you know, she's looking for something she hasn't read yet from this author. I wonder if she's read this. It wasn't Golden in Death, but it was close to that title. And I almost didn't bring it home. I was like, I don't know if I want to, should I even bring it home? It's too depressing, like the title is too something something. I decided to bring it anyway just because it was a new J.D. Robb book. So I did. Lo and behold, my mom would pass away of natural causes a few months later, like in July. She wound up in the hospital in May, went through like 8 weeks of all kinds of stuff, then came home to hospice care, and then passed away. So it did make me wonder, and it's like, if the government ever offers you a free book on a book trolley, or anything that seems like, oh, that's an odd title, or something seems odd.